The Galaxian survey vessel Starweaver drifted through the Crimson Nebula at the edge of mapped space, its crystalline sensors probing the cosmic dust for signs of valuable minerals. Captain Zara Vex stood at the bridge's observation dome, her iridescent scales shifting colors as she watched the swirling gases outside. After 15 years of deep space exploration, she thought she'd seen everything the universe had to offer. She was wrong. "Captain," called out Science Officer Naira, her tentacles rapidly interfacing with the ship's neural network. "We're detecting an anomalous mass approximately 2 light minutes ahead. It's not showing up on any of our star charts." Zara turned from the observation dome, her curiosity piqued. The Galaxians were among the oldest spacefaring races in the known galaxy, with maps dating back millions of years. An unmapped object in this region was unusual, to say the least. "Show me," she ordered, moving to the central holographic display. The projection materialized, showing a massive vessel unlike anything in their database. Its design was sleek yet utilitarian, with obvious weapon emplacements along its hull. Most striking was its size, easily 3 times larger than the Starweaver. "Analysis?" Zara asked, studying the mysterious ship's profile. Chief Engineer Kex, a veteran of countless first contact situations, manipulated his console with his 4 upper limbs while the lower ones maintained his floating position. "The hull composition is impossible, Captain. Our sensors can't penetrate it. But there's something familiar about the design aesthetic." Naira's tentacles suddenly froze. "Captain, I've found a match in our historical archives. It's human." The bridge fell silent. Humans were known throughout the galaxy as a relatively young species, only recently achieving faster-than-light travel. They maintained a modest territory of a few dozen systems, focusing mainly on trade and cultural exchange. Their technology was considered primitive by Galaxian standards. "That's not possible," Kex stated flatly. "Human ships can barely reach half the size of this vessel, and their hull technology is centuries behind this level of advancement." Zara studied the projection more carefully. "How long has it been here?" "Based on cosmic radiation patterns in the surrounding nebula." Naira paused, double-checking her calculations. "At least 300 years. 300 years. Zara's scales shifted to a deep blue of confusion. Humans only achieved spaceflight a century ago. The ship hung there in space, a silent contradiction to everything they knew about human technological development. As they watched, something changed. Subtle lights began to flicker along its hull, like a creature slowly waking from hibernation. "Captain," Kex called out, his voice tense, "we're detecting power signatures. The ship is active." "Active?" After 3 centuries. Zara moved closer to the holographic display. "Life signs?" "None detected," Naira reported, "but the power readings are increasing. The ship's systems appear to be responding to our presence." Zara made a decision. "Bring us closer, but maintain safe distance. Prepare a research shuttle for launch. I want to know what this ship is doing here, and why everything we know about human technological development appears to be wrong." As the Starweaver approached, more systems on the human vessel activated. Running lights illuminated its name etched in ancient human script, HS Guardian. Suddenly, their communication system crackled to life with a message in perfect Galaxian. "Unidentified vessel, you have entered a restricted sector under the protection of the human Space Force. Please identify yourself and state your intentions." The bridge crew exchanged shocked looks. The voice was clearly artificial, yet it spoke their language with a fluency that shouldn't have been possible for human eye of any era, let alone one 3 centuries old. "This is Captain Zara Vex of the Galaxian exploration vessel Starweaver," she responded, her scales now shifting to the green of diplomatic caution. "We are a peaceful research vessel. May I ask how your systems are able to communicate in our language?" There was a pause before the response came. "Captain Vex, I am ARRA, Advanced Reconnaissance Intelligence Assistant of the HSS Guardian." My linguistic databases contain all known galactic languages, including 72 extinct ones. Would you like to verify your peaceful intentions by submitting to a standard scan? Before Zara could respond, their sensors detected multiple weapon systems activating across the human vessel's hull. They weren't being targeted, yet, but the message was clear. This was no ordinary derelict ship. Tactical analysis, Zara ordered quietly. Those weapon systems, Kex reported, his voice barely a whisper. They're beyond anything in our database. If they're what I think they are, Captain, a single shot could vaporize us. Zara's scales shifted to the deep purple of crucial decision-making. Everything they'd been taught about human technological capabilities was clearly wrong. The question was, had they stumbled upon something they weren't meant to find? Or was this discovery precisely what the ship had been waiting for? Araya, Zara said finally, we submit to your scan, but I hope you'll understand if I have questions about your presence here. The humans we know don't possess technology like yours. The humans you know, Captain Vex, Araya responded, are exactly what they chose to appear to be. Your scan is complete. You may approach. There is much to discuss about the true history of humanity and why you're the first vessel we've contacted in 300 years of waiting. The docking process was unnervingly smooth. The HSS Guardian guided the Galaxian shuttle into its cavernous bay with precision that spoke of technologies far beyond what humans supposedly possessed. Captain Zara Vex led the exploration team personally, accompanied by Chief Engineer Kex and Science Officer Naira. Their environmental suits gleamed under the ship's pristine lighting. Welcome aboard the Guardian. Araya's voice echoed through their communication systems. The atmosphere has been adjusted to Galaxian standards. You may remove your helmets if you wish. Zara kept her helmet on. 3 centuries of documented human history had just been proven false. Caution seemed prudent. Thank you, Araya. But we'll maintain protocol for now. Can you tell us why this ship has remained hidden for so long? Holographic guides materialized along the deck, leading them deeper into the vessel. The Guardian is part of the Sentinel Protocol, Araya explained as they walked. We are one of 7 watchers placed at strategic points throughout the galaxy. Our mission is complex, but perhaps it's best if I show you. They entered what appeared to be a command center. The chamber was vast, dominated by a central holographic platform that hummed to life at their approach. The walls were lined with displays showing real-time data in human script that constantly shifted and updated. 312 years ago, Araya began, as the holographic platform generated a 3-dimensional map of the galaxy. Humanity made a discovery that changed everything. We detected a pattern in the collapse of civilizations, a cycle that had repeated itself countless times. Advanced species would rise, expand rapidly, and then mysteriously vanish, leaving younger races to fill the void. The hologram highlighted various regions of space, showing the rise and fall of countless civilizations across millions of years. Zara's scales shifted to deep indigo, the color of profound revelation. Impossible, Naira whispered, her tentacles writhing in agitation. The Galaxian archives go back millions of years. We would have noticed such a pattern. Your archives, Araya responded, like those of all elder races, have been subtly manipulated over millennia by forces you never detected. Humanity, being younger and outside the established power structures, saw what others couldn't, or rather, what others were prevented from seeing. The hologram zoomed in on a particular sector of space. We discovered that these civilizations didn't simply collapse, they were harvested. An ancient machine intelligence has been cultivating advanced species like crops, allowing them to develop until they reach a certain technological threshold, then harvesting their knowledge and resources before moving on. Kex's 4 arms worked furiously over his scanning device. These energy readings, the materials used in this ship, they're not just advanced. They're beyond theoretical limits. Necessity drove innovation, Araya explained. When humanity discovered the truth, We had a choice. We could try to fight the harvesters directly and likely be destroyed, or we could adopt a more subtle approach. We chose to hide our true capabilities, presenting ourselves as a modest, developing civilization, while secretly preparing our defenses. The hologram shifted again, showing the positions of 7 ships like the Guardian, strategically placed throughout the galaxy. The Sentinel Protocol was our solution. We created 7 automated warships equipped with our most advanced technology and positioned them to watch over developing civilizations. We hid our true nature, allowing ourselves to be underestimated while we worked to protect others from the fate we discovered. Zara stepped closer to the hologram, her scales now pulsing with the bright silver of urgent inquiry. Why reveal this to us now? Why break 3 centuries of silence? Because the cycle is beginning again, Araya replied, and a hologram filled with ominous red markers spreading across the galaxy. The harvesters are awakening. And this time, we need allies. The Valaxians have been chosen as the first species to learn the truth because your civilization's technological development has reached the critical point. You're about to attract their attention. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the ship. The hologram zoomed in on a nearby sector of space, showing multiple objects emerging from faster-than-light travel. It appears, Araya announced, that our discussion must be accelerated. Long-range sensors have detected a harvester scout fleet. They're not here by coincidence. They've detected your civilization's advancement. The Guardian was placed in this sector specifically to prevent premature contact. How many ships? Zara demanded, her military training taking over. 17 vessels of varying classes, Araya responded. More than the Guardian can handle alone, but perhaps not more than we can handle together. Captain Vex, humanity has waited centuries to find the right allies. Will you help us protect the galaxy from what comes? Before Zara could respond, the deck beneath them thrummed with power as ancient weapon systems awakened fully. The Guardian's internal lights shifted to combat status, and new holographic displays materialized, showing tactical information and weapon controls. Your ship's systems are compatible with our technology, an intentional design feature, Araya explained. We can link our defensive capabilities, sharing shields and coordinating attacks. But you must decide quickly. The Harvester fleet will detect us soon, and once they do, they'll call for reinforcements. Everything humanity has worked to prevent for 3 centuries could be undone in the next few hours. Zara looked at her crew members. Kex's eyes shone with fascination at the advanced technology surrounding them. Naira's tentacles moved in patterns indicating intense calculation and analysis. The decision would affect not just their own survival, but potentially the fate of their entire civilization. The Valaxian people have always prided ourselves on being guardians of knowledge and progress, Zora said finally, her scales settling into the deep gold of resolute determination. If what you've shown us is true, we have a duty to help. But understand this. After this battle, our people must know the full truth. No more secrets. Agreed. Araya responded, and the ship's systems began interfacing with the Starweaver's computers. Welcome to humanity's real war, Captain Vex. Let's hope we're ready for what comes next. The Harvester fleet emerged from hyperspace like a swarm of metallic insects, their ship's geometrically perfect forms contrasting sharply with the organic swirls of the nebula. Captain Zara Vex watched from the Guardian's command center as Araya interfaced with both vessels, creating a seamless neural network between the ancient human warship and the Starweaver. Combat integration complete, Araya announced. The Starweaver's power systems have been temporarily upgraded. Your shields now operate on quantum entanglement principles, and your weapon systems have been enhanced with our targeting protocols. Kex monitored the changes from his station, all 4 arms moving across multiple holographic interfaces. The power output is astronomical. Our ship's systems are operating at 400% above maximum theoretical capacity. Human engineering, Araya explained, was developed with hidden potential. All technology traded to other species was designed to be secretly compatible with our true capabilities. When the time came, we could upgrade our allies' ships almost instantly. The Harvester fleet moved with disturbing precision, spreading out in a formation that spoke of countless battles and ruthless efficiency. Zara's scales shifted to deep crimson. Battle readiness. "They're scanning us," Naira reported from her station. "Their energy signatures match nothing in our database, but they're clearly preparing weapon systems." The largest Harvester vessel suddenly transmitted a signal, not in any known language, but in pure mathematical concepts that translated directly into meaning. "Anon-o-mail-id-kiki-cted. Advanced technology signature duis not imatisij. Record development patterns. Investigation protocol initiated." They've noticed the power signatures from our combined ships. Araya stated. "Standard protocol is to eliminate any civilization that develops technology outside their predicted patterns. Prepare for combat." The Harvester fleet's response was immediate and devastating. Energy beams lanced out from multiple vessels, targeting both ships with precision that would have meant instant destruction for any normal vessel. But the Guardian and the upgraded Starweaver were far from normal. The quantum shields absorbed the attacks, converting the energy into power for their own weapons. Araya's combat systems moved faster than organic minds could process, coordinating a defense that seemed to anticipate the Harvester's every move. "How is this possible?" Zara demanded as she watched her ship perform maneuvers that should have torn it apart. "Even with upgrades, our structural integrity shouldn't allow this. Human ships were built to be more than they appeared," Araya replied while orchestrating their defense. "Your vessel's quantum field matrix is now operating at its true capacity. The limitations you knew were artificial, safety restrictions designed to maintain our deception." The battle unfolded like a deadly dance through space. The Harvester ships moved with cold precision, but the combined human and Galaxian vessels responded with impossible agility. Where the Harvesters expected to find easy prey, they instead encountered a defense that seemed to know their tactics before they executed them. "They're adapting," Naira warned as new energy signatures bloomed across their tactical display. "Their weapons are changing frequency, trying to penetrate our shields." As expected, Araya responded, initiating countermeasure protocol Sierra. "Captain Vex, please authorize weapons release for the Starweaver's true arsenal." Zara's scales flickered with surprise. "True arsenal? Your missile systems have always contained dormant quantum warheads, a failsafe built into all technology we traded. You never knew they were there because they were designed to activate only in the presence of a confirmed Harvester signal." The revelation sent shockwaves through the Galaxian crew. Their entire military foundation had secretly been built with human safeguards and hidden weapons. Yet somehow, they felt not anger at the deception, but awed at the foresight it represented. "Weapons authorized," Zara commanded, and felt her ship transform further. The battle shifted dramatically. Quantum warheads launched from the Starweaver phased through normal space, reappearing inside Harvester shields. The Guardian's main weapons fired streams of what appeared to be liquid light, cutting through the geometrically perfect ships like they were made of paper. "Indomitable, 3 level XCED. Requesting reinforcement. Initiating emergency protocols." The Harvester transmission carried notes of something the mechanical beings had likely never experienced before: uncertainty. "They're calling for help," Araya announced, "but they won't receive it. The Guardian's sister ships are activating throughout the galaxy, engaging Harvester forces wherever they appear. Humanity's long wait is over. The real war begins now." As they watched, the Harvester fleet began to fall. Ships that had terrorized countless civilizations over millions of years were systematically dismantled by weapons they had never encountered, never predicted, never believed possible from such a young species. "Why?" Zara asked as the battle reached its climax. "Why did humanity choose this path?" to hide their strength, to watch from the shadows, to protect species that never knew they needed protection. Because of what we learned from Earth's history, Araya replied, her artificial voice carrying something close to emotion. Humanity's own development was shaped by countless conflicts, failures, and near extinctions. We learned that true strength comes not from domination, but from preparation, adaptation, and cooperation. The harvesters represent everything we fought to overcome, the idea that advancement must come through destruction. The last harvester ship, crippled and failing, transmitted a final message before its quantum core collapsed. Analysis ERROR, species designation, human, threat assessment, recalculating. They know now, Naira said quietly. The deception is over. Yes, Araya confirmed. Phase 1 of the Sentinel Protocol is complete. Now, Captain Vex, your people have a choice to make. Will the Galaxians stand with humanity as we face what comes next? The harvesters will return in force, and this time, they will bring weapons designed to match what they've seen today. Zara looked at her crew, saw the same determination in their postures that she felt in her core. Her scales shifted to the gold of absolute certainty. We stand together, she declared. The Galaxians will help humanity protect the galaxy. But first, tell us everything. No more secrets. No more hidden weapons. If we're to face this threat together, we need to know exactly what humanity has been preparing for all these centuries. Very well, Araya responded, and the command center's holographic displays came alive with new information. Let me tell you about the Earth that was, the humanity that is, and the future we must all fight to protect. In the aftermath of the battle, the Guardian and Starweaver drifted among the scattered remains of the Harvester fleet. The quantum sensors detected hundreds of similar engagements happening across the galaxy as other Sentinel ships revealed themselves. Humanity's hidden war had finally emerged from the shadows. Inside the Guardian's vast archival chamber, Araya projected a detailed hologram of Earth. The cradle of humanity rotated slowly, showing a world far different from the modest colony hub known to the galaxy. What you know as Earth, Araya explained to the Galaxian crew, is a carefully maintained facade. The planet you see in diplomatic exchanges is actually a replica, built in orbit around a distant star. The real Earth is something else entirely. The hologram shifted, revealing a planet transformed by technologies beyond anything the Galaxians had imagined. Orbital rings encircled the world, massive space elevators reached into the heavens, and entire continents had been converted into computational matrices. 3 centuries ago, Araya continued, humanity achieved technological singularity. We could have expanded across the galaxy, dominated other species, claimed resources and territory. Instead, we detected the harvester signal and made a different choice. Zara watched the hologram with her scales shifting through shades of wonder and disbelief. You chose to hide, to protect rather than conquer. Yes, Earth became our fortress, hidden behind quantum fields that make it appear as empty space to outside observers. The rest of humanity spread out in secret, establishing hidden outposts and developing technologies that could counter the harvester threat. Chief Engineer Kex studied the technical readouts with all 4 arms trembling in excitement. These designs, they're beyond theoretical physics. You've mastered zero-point energy, quantum manipulation at a macro scale, even controlled temporal mechanics, all of which will be needed. Araya responded. For what comes next? The harvester fleet we defeated was merely an advanced scout force. Their main civilization exists in the spaces between galaxies, waiting to descend when they detect sufficiently advanced prey. The hologram expanded to show the local galactic cluster. Red points of light appeared in the void between spiral arms, harvester staging areas preparing for full invasion. How long do we have? Zara asked, her military training focusing on immediate tactical concerns. Based on quantum probability calculations, between 6 and 8 months before their main force arrives. They've never encountered resistance like this before. They'll take time to analyze, adapt, and develop countermeasures. Science Officer Naira's tentacles writhed in complex patterns of calculation. The Galaxian High Council must be informed. Our entire defensive strategy will need to be reconsidered. Agreed, Araya said. But there's more you need to understand first. The Harvesters aren't simply conquerors. They're caretakers of a twisted sort. They believe they're preserving the essence of civilizations by harvesting their knowledge and technology before they can destroy themselves. Their goal isn't just conquest, it's the prevention of what they see as inevitable self-destruction. The hologram shifted again, showing countless civilizations that had risen and fallen over millions of years. They believe advanced species will always turn their technology against themselves. Humanity proved them wrong. We achieved godlike power and chose to use it not for dominance, but for protection. A new alert sounded through the ship. Multiple quantum signatures detected, Araya announced. The other Sentinel ships are initiating first contact with their designated species. The Protocon Empire, the Zarkax Collective, the Meridian Confluence, all the civilizations approaching technological maturity are being contacted simultaneously. A coordinated revelation, Zara realized, her scales brightening. You're building an alliance. The Harvester's strength lies in their ability to isolate and overwhelm single civilizations. Together, with humanity's technology and the combined forces of multiple species, we stand a chance of breaking their cycle permanently. Kex looked up from his analysis of the Earth hologram. But why trust us with this power? How do you know we won't use it against you or against others? Because we've been watching, learning. The Galaxians, like the other chosen species, have demonstrated something the Harvesters never understood. The capacity for growth without destruction. You've advanced your civilization without devastating your worlds. You've developed technology while maintaining your connection to life itself. The archival chamber's displays filled with new information. Centuries of secret human observations of Galaxian civilization. Every major decision, every peaceful resolution, every technological advance achieved without warfare had been noted and analyzed. This is why we chose your people first, Ariad explained. Your ship didn't stumble upon the Guardian by accident. We guided you here because you were ready. The question now is, are you ready for what comes next? Zara looked at her crew, seeing in their postures and expressions the same mix of determination and awe she felt. Her scales settled into the deep gold of absolute conviction. Earth trusted us enough to protect us without our knowledge, she said. Now it's our turn to prove that trust was well placed. What do you need from the Galaxian people? Aria's holographic presence seemed to grow more focused. First, we need you to carry our message to your High Council. Then, we need your help to prepare the galaxy for war. The Harvesters believe advanced civilizations are doomed to destroy themselves. Together, we're going to prove that advanced civilizations can instead choose to stand united, fight for something greater than themselves, and forge a future that even immortal machines never imagined possible. The Guardian's engines hummed to life, preparing for the journey to Galaxian space. As they made ready to depart, Zora couldn't help but feel that this was more than just the beginning of a war. It was the dawn of a new era for all species, one where humanity's long vigil would finally bear fruit in a united galaxy, standing together against the darkness between the stars. The Galaxian High Council chamber had never been so crowded. Representatives from 27 spacefaring civilizations filled the ancient hall, their diverse forms a testament to the galaxy's rich tapestry of life. Captain Zara Vex stood at the podium, her scales shimmering with the gravity of the moment as she addressed the assembled species. Above them all, a holographic projection showed real-time footage of the Harvester Armada approaching from intergalactic space. The ships numbered in the millions, their perfect geometric forms blotting out the stars themselves. 3 months ago, Zara began, we discovered that humanity had been protecting us all for centuries. Today, we stand united because of their foresight. The enemy approaches not just our worlds, but our very right to exist as we choose. The chamber's quantum displays activated, showing the combined fleet gathering at strategic points throughout the galaxy. Former enemies now worked side by side, their ships upgraded with human technology, their crews training together for the coming battle. Aria's presence manifested in the center of the chamber, her holographic form now incorporating elements from all allied species, a visual representation of their unity. The Harvester Advance Fleet will reach the outer defense line in 48 hours. They expect to find primitive, isolated civilizations. Instead, they'll face the most powerful alliance the galaxy has ever known. Strategic displays showed the positions of all 7 Sentinel ships, now revealed as command centers for the Allied forces. The Guardian, under the joint command of Aria and Captain Vex, would lead the primary defense fleet. Humanity has given us more than just technology, Zora continued. They've shown us a different path. The Harvesters believe advanced civilizations must be controlled, contained, and ultimately consumed. We will prove them wrong. The chamber screens filled with images from across the galaxy, shipyards producing vessels with combined technology from multiple species, research facilities where diverse minds work together to unlock new possibilities, training grounds where warriors from 100 worlds learn to fight as one. A transmission cut through all channels, the Harvester's first direct communication. Anomaly status critical. Civilization development exceeds parameters. Containment protocols INITIE. They still don't understand, Aria observed. They see our unity as an anomaly to be corrected. They cannot comprehend that we choose to stand together. The first wave of Harvester ships entered the galaxy proper, their weapons charging. But this time, they found no easy prey. Quantum shields flared to life around countless worlds. Hidden defense platforms emerged from dimensional pockets. Ships of all species moved in perfect coordination, their crews linked by human neural networks. This is not just humanity's war anymore, Zora declared to the assembled representatives. This is a fight for every species' right to determine their own path. To advance not through destruction, but through cooperation. To prove that unity is not weakness, but the greatest strength of all. The battle erupted across 1,000 light years simultaneously. Harvester weapons that had broken countless civilizations found themselves countered by shields designed over centuries of preparation. Their perfect formations shattered against tactics developed by minds working together in ways they had never predicted. On the bridge of the Guardian, Zora watched as the combined fleet executed their carefully planned defense. The Harvester's mechanical precision met its match in the creativity and adaptability of organic minds working in harmony. They're attempting to access our computer networks, Naira reported from her station, her tentacles moving in complex patterns. But the quantum encryption is holding. They can't break through. Of course not, Kex added, his 4 arms coordinating fire patterns across multiple sectors. It's not just human encryption anymore. It's got Galaxian intuitive algorithms, Protocon quantum mathematics, and Zarkak's temporal processing all working together. The Harvesters had never faced such resistance. Their perfect models, built over millions of years of harvesting civilizations, had never accounted for such cooperation. Species they had marked for eventual harvest now turned their unique abilities against them, coordinated by human technology and strengthened by unity. Analy says, EROR, behavioral patterns ANVALID, species development, EEDs ALGIN models. The Harvester transmission carried something never before detected in their communications: confusion. They're beginning to understand, Aria announced across all channels. Their entire purpose was to prevent civilizations from destroying themselves. Now they face civilizations that have chosen a different path, one of mutual protection and growth. The battle raged for days across the galaxy. The Harvesters' numbers were vast, but they fought alone, each ship an isolated unit following predetermined protocols. The Allied fleet fought as one, adapting and supporting each other in ways that defied mechanical prediction. Finally, after a week of continuous combat, the Harvester fleet began to retreat. Their perfect formations had been shattered, their certainty broken by the impossible unity they had encountered. Into Gale. ERROR-DETTT. Re-evaluation required. Harvesting protoxoals. Insufficient. They're withdrawing, Zora announced to the Alliance, her scales bright with victory. But this isn't the end. They'll return with new strategies, new weapons. And we'll be ready, Araya responded. Humanity hid its strength for centuries to prepare for this moment. Now, with all of us working together, we can build something even greater. The Harvesters sought to prevent civilizations from destroying themselves. Instead, they united us in ways they never imagined possible. As the Harvester fleet retreated into intergalactic space, the Alliance began its work anew. Research teams from all species collaborated on new technologies. Cultural exchanges flourished as barriers broke down. The galaxy was transforming into something unprecedented, a true civilization of civilizations. In the Guardian's command center, Zura received a direct transmission from Earth itself. The hologram showed a planet that had hidden its true nature for centuries, now revealed in all its glory. A human voice, warm and genuine, spoke to all allied forces. For 300 years, we waited and watched, preparing for this day. We could have conquered, but we chose to protect. We could have dominated, but we chose to unite. Together, we have proven that advancement doesn't require destruction. Unity doesn't demand uniformity. And the greatest power of all lies not in weapons or technology, but in the choice to stand together, to protect each other, and to forge a future greater than any one civilization could achieve alone. The message spread across the galaxy, translated into every language, a testament to humanity's long vigil and the dawn of a new era. The Harvesters had sought to prevent civilizations from destroying themselves. Instead, they had united them in ways beyond even humanity's greatest hopes. As Zara looked out at the combined fleet, she knew that the real work was just beginning. But for the first time in galaxy's history, advanced civilizations weren't facing the future alone. Together, they would build something the Harvesters had never imagined possible, a galaxy where progress meant protection, where power meant responsibility, and where unity was the greatest victory of all.